Hello, hello, and welcome to the Holistic Witch's Cottage. This is Melissa, and today we will talk about how everything's connected, and this episode will be largely devoted to the topic of energy. But let's start on a little recap of last week and the weekend. So it was a Wheel of the Year celebration. It was Imbolc weekend, or for those of us who prefer to celebrate Candlemas weekend, and then Groundhog Day was happening, and then there were some other weird things going on too. So the weather outside was frightful. We didn't do much, but the energy was kind of icksy. The energy here has been icksy for a while. And I'll get more into that when I talk about the energy part of the podcast. But my husband surprised me by, I was doing something in the house, and he said, I lit a fire outside in the fireplace. So, he said he was having Mexican hot chocolate, so whip one up for myself and come on out, and we'll do a little smoke cleansing and some herbs and incense and do a little Imbolc ritual in the middle of the afternoon on Saturday. Now, there were extreme weather warnings for Friday and Saturday due to extreme cold temperatures. So I think it was like -4 when I went out. It may have gotten up to like 4 above zero when we were outside doing this. But it was kind of fun. It was nice to have a fire and do that type of thing. Although I wasn't out for much longer than to burn some leaves, burn some incense, watch things smolder, and write a little intention and release, which I tossed in the fire for Imbolc, which was kind of neat. And then I lit a candle too, because, my Candlemas thing. But that was cool. I don't think I was out there much longer than how long it took me to drink my very large mug of hot chocolate with maple syrup. I don't do the spicy cayenne hot chocolate. But that was neat. So that's basically, my husband's much more into the Celtic celebrations than I am. So that's how we celebrated Imbolc together. I made the $300 ermine frosting, which I put on a lemon cake, and it was a box mix lemon cake, so nothing too amazing there. But I had to do more research on this $300 ermine frosting, which I actually thought was pretty good, and I got a thumbs up from the kiddo. So he was doing whatever on his computer, and I took a little spoon and I said, taste this, and I got an eye roll when I took it, and I just taste it, and he's like, oh, that's good, keep making that. So based on the research that I did, if it's correct, the Waldorf Astoria charges $300 for a piece of cake with this frosting on it. It probably costs less than $1-ish to make this frosting. So I'm just going to do a little review on that. I'm giving this frosting a 5 out of 5 stars for flavor and for ease of making it. Now, I had planned to do this in my KitchenAid, and I couldn't find the right bowl, and things were going kind of off the hook with that. So I used my little hand mixer, which I had to locate to find it with the little tiny crappy beaters in it. But even using like my very old $5 cheap hand electric mixer, this turned out great. So 5 stars on flavor, maybe a 4.5 on preparation, but that's my fault because I didn't have my stuff out before I started. So I've posted this recipe multiple times on the cottage page and on the camping page and the camping group, and here is the recipe for the $300 frosting. Starting with 1 cup of milk, 5 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of butter, and I substituted butter Crisco for that because that's what I had. 1 cup of sugar, and we use organic unbleached sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. So what you do with these ingredients: cook the 1 cup of milk plus the 5 tablespoons of flour until thick, and then cool it. So I used like my silicone whisk, and I was stirring continually. I didn't use a double boiler on this, and I didn't need to, but this is one you have to watch because if you walk away from it, it could get too thick because it thickened up very fast. And then I put that down in the downstairs fridge to cool. In the meantime, I had prepared my other ingredients, and I had that little mixer debacle. So with the hand mixer in a small bowl, I beat the butter Crisco, 1 cup softened, 1 cup of the sugar crystals, and my vanilla until fluffy. And I forgot that I had something on the burner, so I'm going to check on that. Okay, so I'm back. I forgot that I had something on the back burner of the stove, so you may have heard the beep, beep, beep of my kitchen timer. So with the frosting, once the milk and the 5 tablespoons of flour mixture was cool, I mixed those together. So you beat the butter, the sugar, and the vanilla until fluffy. And then you scoop in the milk mixture and beat 5 minutes until creamy. Now, because I was using my old, not so great hand mixer, I don't know if I went a full 5 minutes on the final mixing and beating of that. So my sugar was a little bit crystallized in the frosting, but I actually liked that. But if I was to do it again, I'll remember to set up with the correct bowl with the KitchenAid, and then I can just let it work on its own. So I definitely recommend this frosting recipe. Yesterday was National Carrot Cake Day. I think this would be a fantastic frosting on carrot cake. So if you choose to try that, I highly recommend it. Now, other things with the weekend, moving into the week, February 2nd was Groundhog's Day. I live about an hour and a bit from Punxsutawney because of the drastic cold weather. We did not go this year. But Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter weather. But it was 6 more weeks until spring anyway by the calendar, so I guess we'll have to roll with that. At least in my part of the world, we could see snow until May. So I am not mad at Punxsutawney Phil, although I did see some recipes for how to make groundhog pie. There are some people who are angry with Phil. I am not angry with Phil. I have met one of the Phils, shook his little paw, or I guess that's what you call it on a groundhog. I really don't know. And enjoy your little groundhog life, Phil. Like, go hang out. Have a warm, refreshing beverage, Phil, and thanks for coming out of your cozy little home to entertain the people. So this morning, this is the first time I have used one of my Ractigino mugs. Now, Ractigino is a Klingon coffee beverage which was served on Star Trek. Specifically, it was served all the time on Deep Space Nine, which is my favorite of the old Star Treks. And so I have a Ractigino mug in Promenade Blue. I got out a bag of one of my Christmas coffee blends that I got. So I was gifted a bag of Starbucks Holiday Blend Sweet Herb, which actually tastes a little bit like dirty chai to me. Now, Ractigino is a dirty chai latte. It's a cinnamon and spice coffee with frothy milk on it. That's what Ractigino is. If you look it up on a Google search or one of the other searches. So these Ractigino mugs are kind of cool. Like, they're almost beaker shaped. They're very wide and fat on the bottom, but the neck is skinny. So it's not quite like drinking out of a bottle, but it's like that, and it's got this big old handle on it. And mine is Promenade Blue. So that's specific to Star Trek because they used to drink their Ractigino in Quark's Bar on the Promenade. So this is a Promenade Blue Ractigino mug, and my first time using it, so I'm feeling very, very nerdy today as I drink out of my Ractigino mug. I have oatmeal setting on the stove. That's what the beeper was. I do the long cook kind. So I put that on knowing I would have to pause during the podcast to turn it off. I'm using a 20-minute cook on that. And then I forgot about it, of course. So good thing the timer reminded me. I am wearing my vintage Vera Wang jersey night dress with one of my favorite big black long sweaters. It's still chilly. I have yoga and time live in about 2.5 hours. So I decided just to stay cozy until it's time to dress for the video. So that is what is happening here. So let's move on to the main topic today, which I was calling energy. Now, I shared a post and I wrote this out in cursive. I don't know if I'm the only one that still reads and writes in cursive, but I like it. Cursive feels very witchy to me, so witch as you wish. But I wrote it out instead of trying to look back and forth between two screens or bringing my Chromebook in. And the Boomerang Theory states, whatever energy you put into the world eventually comes back to you. Now, before I move on with that, which I do believe some truth in that, I also believe in universal truths and random occurrences. So, yes, bad things happen to good people. Good things can happen to bad people. And some universal truths like illness, death, people being untruthful and doing bad things to us, things breaking, accidents. These are randoms. These are universal randoms that can and will happen. Okay? So sometimes when people talk about the Boomerang Theory, there's this weirdness, like if somebody is in a car accident, well, they must be a horrible person because they had this accident, so they deserved it. My mom used to talk like that a lot. Things happen. Sometimes accidents just happen. Sometimes people will turn on you. Sometimes people get ill. And unfortunately, death is real in our universe. So these are universal truths, and I don't think they are directly tied to short-term boomerang theory. And I'll explain more what I think about that. So let's go back to whatever energy you put into the world eventually comes back to you. Now on the short term, I think there is some truth in that. If you go out into the world, I'm going to use Walmart as an example. I remember when Christopher and I went shopping for his first sewing machine. And we found a good deal. We knew one was on sale. The one he wanted was on sale, and we got up to the register, and you know that thing that happens sometimes. Oh, no, you're wrong. It's not. I had even taken a screenshot of the price because, you know, these things happen sometimes. And the cashier, who had probably already been having a bad day, like just absolutely went off on me. And I was like, well, then I don't want it. If it's going to be $80 more than it's advertised as, I don't want it. And she's like, well, you can't leave it here and blah, blah, blah. So I ended up buying it. And long story short on that, even though I got ripped on the price, we both love that sewing machine. So it was a good buy. But as far as the energy exchange, like I went into that day with so much positivity, and then a bad thing happened, and then I was blasted by the nasty behavior of the cashier, and then my energy level probably went from like a high sparkling unicorn to a bitchy feral raccoon. And that's because the energy that I came in contact with, I allowed it to affect my own energy. So the energy that individual gave me did affect my energy, and then I probably put that energy out into the world for a while also. So even though I went in positive, I allowed myself to be influenced negatively, and then I definitely put some negative back out to her. And then there was a person there who was like the cashier supervisor. I have some old heat with her, some old nastiness. She is a self-identified MAGA fundy, and she's just shouting to everyone about, don't wait on her, she's evil, she's not, she doesn't go to our church and blah, blah, blah. So, energy does affect us. It's kind of a funny story, a dumb story, but energy does affect us. So let's move on with the boomerang theory. The theory is if you give peace, you will attract calm. And that day I was trying to attract calm, but I got nailed, and then I gave right back what she gave to me. So I was a victim of the boomerang. If you lead with love, you'll find connection. If you throw hate, it returns stronger. Now that's what happened to me that day, and I try to do the energy shielding. I practiced pagan veiling for a long time, which is where you wrap your head in a certain way or wear a hat to block your crown chakra. I don't do it as much as I used to, because I thought that I've gotten better at maintaining my energy. But sometimes I still do it, especially when I know I'm going into a bad situation. If you move through life with fear, you'll see danger everywhere. But if you move through with courage and intention, life meets you with better paths. Politically, sometimes I feel like I am a victim of collective fear. I have been caught up in collateral damage before, and there are some individuals in my area that are bullies, and I have tried to avoid interacting with them as much as I can, but sometimes, life happens and you interact with these people. So that sort of happened to me too. Like, I would normally try to avoid these people like the plague, and something happened and I couldn't, and I was met with a lot of hate, and I boomeranged. I reacted to the hate, and I was thinking at first that I reacted out of anger, but as I process it more, I think I acted more out of courage. I'm used to being bullied and attacked by certain people, and that I was in a situation where I couldn't just quickly avoid it and get away. I had to react. So I would like to think that I reacted with courage over anger, and that life will meet me with a better path because of it. Hopefully in the future, they will steer clear of me as well, because I handed back what was handed to me this time, but not out of fear, but out of courage. So that's something to think about too. If politics and just the world dynamic is making you feel fearful, know that within your own power, you can move forward with courage and intention. And I hope that life will meet you with better paths. So what you give is often what you get, but not always. So choose carefully, because the universe may send it back. And again, let me just stress, because this has come up before, people have said, like, I don't believe in the boomerang theory because I'm a really nice person and this really bad thing happened. Sometimes really bad things happen. Unfortunately, those are universal truths. But I think in the short term, boomerang theory can be real. Energy can be contagious. So protect your energy wisely. Today on Yoga and Time, I think it's going to be more of an energy session than just stretching, because I've done a lot of that lately. Some fun stretching and some activities for kids. I think today's going to be more on energy protection to help us get through the remainder of winter in the north, but just also to help us steer through some of the nasty media and political dynamics. Let me say that word again. Political dynamics that are out there. So I hope that will be helpful to everyone this week. The other thing is, I read this boomerang theory and went through of all this. Okay, so I've talked about randoms and universal truths. I also think that your vibe does attract your tribe. I try to steer very clear of certain vibes, but unfortunately in the world sometimes we have to interact with these people. But my path has taken me in a different direction I didn't expect. Years ago, I worked part-time in the children's library section of a semi-local library. This was kind of a cool gig for me because kiddo was very, very young, and I was given permission to just bring him with me. It was cool. So I had left teaching full-time because Christopher had some medical special needs, and I was asked to come in, and yes, you can bring him with you, and that was an awesome gig for me. Then the county had the county was funding several libraries, and they had decided to close ours. Now the local community came up with their own funds and bought the library collection. They already owned the building. So the county was paying rent for that building, but but the borough owned the building, so they decided to just open their own private library, which was cool. But I was told that my services were no longer needed, and there was a bit of kerfluffle at the end there. Like many teachers do, I was using my own items, my own CD player. This is dated a bit, but my own CD player, a lot of my own materials, my own markers, games, things for the children. And they were mine. They were personally mine from my previous classroom. And they weren't going to let me take them. They wanted them, so there was a bit of kerfluffle on that. So I actually bumped into that woman yesterday, that same woman. I had read on Facebook that the private library was giving away books. A lot. Well, first they said a lot of books, and then they changed it to we had several left. I think they meant several hundred left. But Kiddo and I went down to take a look. It was neat because there was a time from like before libraries were digitized and the cards were like the old-fashioned ones that people signed. So there was a card in the back of the book. If you're very young, you may not have experienced this. Instead of digital circulation, there were cards in a pocket in the back of the book. And if you were checking a book out, you signed your name on it. I assume the library had my information. Well, I worked there, so yeah. And if you checked out a book, you gave them the card, and they kept it in like their little Rolodex looking thing. And then when you returned your book, they put the card back in it, and the book went back on the shelf. Well, some of these books had the old cards in it, so I was browsing through the names of people who had checked out books before. And I had written a thing about books can be portals, because if you read the stories, it can transport you, at least mentally. But reading through those old cards, it was kind of like a walk through the looking glass into the past. I saw some names of old customers that used to come in. Some of them are no longer on this plane. Some of them have passed on. And I actually found cards that my name was on twice. So that reminded me of reading those books with my older son back in the 80s. So that was kind of neat. But it was weird to run into that woman who had basically chased me out of the library. I thought that my library adventures, as far as working in one, were probably over, and now my path has taken a new twist again, and library projects are back within my path again. So that's kind of cool. So as far as like your vibe attracts your tribe, I am a huge like sci-fi, fantasy, fiction nerd. And the library staff at that time, they were also big sci-fi fiction nerds. We would go in and have like Buffy parties and talk about what happened on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and different things like that. And that's when some libraries might still run out movies, but there was huge circulation for renting out movies and VHS and DVDs in that library, and we had the coolest fantasy and sci-fi collections as far as movies and books. Probably in central Pennsylvania, because the man who was the director and manager of the library was even a bigger sci-fi nerd than I was. So it was weird to encounter that woman, but it was also, this week was the first time I had been in there since I was let go. So it's been quite a long time, maybe 15 years. So it was neat to sort of walk down memory lane with that again and browse through those books and remember some old patrons and customers, and remember some old conversations regarding nerd culture, which I love so much. So your vibe does attract your tribe. I know that not everyone is attracted to nerd culture, but we're people too, so be nice to us. And so I will close this topic with this whole Boomerang Theory reminded me a little bit of the prayer of St. Francis, which I will only read the first part, the first verse, but Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love, and so on. So if you are a victim of boomerang energy, know that you do have the power to control that and reverse that. And I think I'll talk more about the prayer of St. Francis in a future episode, but that's where I will end that one for today. And how can I sum this up? Protect your energy. It's one of your most valuable commodities. Know that there are people that you will not vibe with, and that's okay. But there are tools to protect your energy, and it's okay to be brave. That sounds like a nice way to end this. Remember that the ermine frosting is a very inexpensive sweetening spell. So if all else fails, let them eat cake with ermine frosting. I think I'll let it go on that because I have some prep to do for the video. Now that I'm working more outside the house, I don't have as much time to work on this, but I am going to make it all flow. I swear. And I hear the jingle jangles of Momo the Wonder Dog, which makes this sound like the perfect time to end. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing, blessings on your journey. Maybe he'll come out so he can jingle for you guys before I go. Blessings on your journey. Protect your energy. Frosting is good. Groundhogs really aren't weathermen. Oh, and I forgot. I made one of those cool ice lanterns where you pour water in a big plastic tub and then stick a smaller tub. I used a plastic cup inside, held it down with a rock, and that's what I used for my candle blessing this week. I did not make a new batch of candles because I found that I still had plenty from last year, but I did post a reel on the cottage page with my ice lantern and a blessing of my collective energy that you may use to bless your candles for protection and health and well-being. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Do you have anything to say to the podcast peeps before I go? Big stretch from Wonder Dog. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Blessings on your journey. Momo and I say bye-bye.